Yeah, that's why I use this each hit of seven sided strike reduces damage stacking. So this damage reduction is not a big deal. Yeah, but the thing is you get a defense buff. Okay, so anytime you get a buff, either it is attack or defense, you activate your Vithus buff. Okay, so how it works is like if you just seven strike the strike, you don't see any buffs here, right? Because you are not hitting anything. But even if you hit once on any character or any unit, okay, that with this buff will apply. Okay, so you can see it for yourselves as well. So how I do this is okay, I'll explain the combo a bit later, but yeah, you get the point for Shield of Zen, Mystic Strike, and Seven Sided Strike, right? Now, finally, we need one more skill. So, being a monk, if we do not have any CC, then it's not good to be a monk. We are not using Imprisoned Fist, etc., or anything like that. So, the last skill which does not use any essences is the Flying Dragon. Okay, so this is good. So with monk, what's the best thing about monk is you can be invisible on the screen. Okay, that is what the exploding palm offers. When you jump from here to there, you're not getting targeted. That is what the flying dragon does as well, and that is what the seven sided strike does as well. So you're off the map most of the time, so you do avoid some damage, not all. There are some downtimes as well, and you can run and you can avoid your loss of control effects as well. Okay, so how this combo works, okay? So I explained, right, like Vithus buff along with Blessed Pebble gives increased duration on everything, right? So the way you work is like you just charge with your Shield of Zen, you move around quickly, right? You see this is like quite good movement speed. I'll just show you the normal movement speed very quickly. Okay, see, this is how it's moving. Okay, now, and you see, right, like this lasts for so long, right? Like it's almost like 10 seconds cooldown, but as soon as it's up, so you're always, so it's really good for PvE as well, for normal farming as well. You never run out of your movement speed. I think Barb has the best sprint ability to move around. It also has a very low cooldown. It can also be reduced to such low that it's always up, but this is also fine, right? Like you always have like around 25, how much you get, 25 from 8 movement speed from here and 25 movement speed from your essence. So almost 32% movement speed, 33% movement speed you always have. Okay, so you run around. Now this build works for both the high resonance and low resonance players. So okay, I'll explain the low resonance part first, because I think not everyone is very high resonance, but if you are like, I consider high resonance as 3k. Okay, so you shield, you charge in, maybe you use one charge over two charges, and then you try to hit. Okay, in a, if you see that the enemies are too strong, you cannot last. By the first death, you will come to know how strong they are. And with monk, I usually encourage. Uh, there are two scenarios, like when you can 1v1 this build is very strong. Okay, but like in group you definitely cannot like just go in and try to hit people. Okay, because that won't work, you'll get immediately nuked out. Okay, so for example, there is a group of enemies here, there is a zealous idol here, and you are charging up to defend it or attack it. Okay, you shield of Zen, you go, you bring it back, and then you seven sided strike. So you see how fast it's happening. Within one strike you are there. The second you are there, you still have your Vithus. Okay, so I'll tell you exactly. You did this. Since your Vithus is active, the flying dragon is also very fast, right? And once the flying dragon ends, you are doing again seven sided strike. So this whole duration you are not getting targeted. Okay, and you always bring the people or the enemy to your team. You don't never bring them, make them like stand on the same place or make them ahead, not. So you are coming from here, right? You're coming from here and your team is also right here. Okay, so you always shield of them your teammates as well if possible, go there and bring them back. Okay, so if you bring them back, they have to come forward, they have to charge in, and your team is here. Anyone who is charging in will automatically get disabled or get shot by people who are standing here. Okay, so you always bring people to your team. Okay, now the second way of doing this is what I call the more ballsy way. And for that, I didn't explain the two essences, so I'll just quickly go over them. So every essences which I was using, I explained, but these two I have not explained. So these two are like very high damage potential. Each time you deal damage, you have a 10% chance. And Monk attacks quite fast, and with Vithus, it's faster as well. So I have not noticed this in PvP, but in PvE, I have seen the attack speed go like crazy sometimes. So because PvP fights are very short duration and things like that, so it's difficult to notice whether it went off or not. But this is fine, right? The second one is you automatically get 3294 damage with a chain lightning. So I have like around 9511 damage. So every hit of mine is now doing plus 3000 damage as well. Okay, so and if you are getting this awakened, you get like fists of summer increased by 10%. So this is huge. And for this as well, fits of thunder damage increased by 10%. So like 20% bonus hit damage you are getting. So even with this kind of low resonance, you are getting quite a substantial increase in damage. Okay, so this is how I'll explain, like in cases where you can like do some hitting as well. So this can work very well if you are alone, or if you are seeing a numbers advantage, like maybe like 4 of you are here and 2 of them are there and you have to attack. Okay, so this becomes very easy. So how you do it is, yeah, you shield of Zen, you have your Vithus active, you hit, and then like in the knockup you are hitting, right? So you shield of Zen yourself, you did this, knocked up, people are knocked up, you get 2 hits, again knock up, you get 2 hits, and then when they land and they are trying to attack you, okay, immediately flying dragon come down. Okay, they are stunned, again hit. Now the stun is expiring, and you are also losing your Vithus charge, right? Vithus buff as well. So you 7 strike, you miss their attacks or their stun, and again you have this Vithus active because you did the 7-sided strike. Okay, and then you can hit again, or the come back or retreat and wait for your cooldowns, etc. So like I'll show in my next upload, I'll show you the PvP. It's very, guys, it's not too great because I do not have like that much kind of HP or damage, but I have a decent score always, sometimes even like second on my team. And I am pretty much doing fine in battlegrounds ranking. Like I am like rank 3 and 4. I keep bouncing, it's very difficult to gain power, but this is not too difficult to get. I think everyone who grinds will eventually get to 4K or something like that. It's only the climb after 4K that is important, or that's very difficult because you'll gain 20 and lose 40, 50, etc. But yeah, I have a good standing in battleground, so I have grinded a lot and I know or kind of knows what I'm talking about. So have fun, guys, with this build, and I'll show you some PvP games in my next upload. Okay, thank you, bye bye.